wanted to address some of the mind control murders. There's less, but some of them were deliberately done in patterns, so that you would think they would be told that would be the reason over the years. I did a medical malpractice book, 76. Larry Flint was shot, and the person that was programmed to shoot him and kill his attorney in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Later, and I'm fast forward, you can't put all of it. I've tried on tapes and videos in the past and Facebook. Larry Flint flew me out to his home during a political campaign to replace one of the doctors I wrote about, Larry McDonald, congressman doctor from Piedmont Hospital, Atlanta, and I was living at Moonraker Apartments in Marietta when Mr. Flint was shot. I was doing the book. June the 23rd of 79, I had antifreeze put in me and should have died. It was in April. Well, excuse me, that's back June the 23rd is when I had the letter from U.S. Attorney's Office, William Harper, of ongoing investigation, national security involved. I thought it was because of the book, because I had been in and out of the FBI headquarters downtown because so much was being done to me and my sons. And I thought it was retaliation for the book, because Larry McDonald, Congress was mentioned in it, Center for Disease Control, Emory University, etc., etc. Des of Warren and Rosina Matthews, forensic pathologist at Piedmont Hospital. And I could go on, but I've put it on before. And this is how you modify, I was writing about how you can modify behavior, and you can program people to go out and shoot and kill. And it's actually the agency or the firm or corporation doing the programming that's the one doing the killings. The person like the Aurora, Colorado, James Holm is a victim of mind control. He's being force-fed psychotic drugs and called insane when mental health has nothing to do with this. It's misdiagnosis deliberately on this man and the others. I'm going to go on, though, because I wanted to get to something else. This is a Fort Hood shooter, and there's a reason. He was born here. He was a psychiatrist. He was born in Roanoke, Vinton, and he finished college at Blacksburg, Virginia Tech, and went on to become a psychiatrist. And then the shootings, he's on death row. I said Mr. Flint was shot, and the person that shot him was programmed to shoot and kill his attorney. Now, I want to get to this, and then if I have time, I'll go back to the other. I've put it on other videos, most of it. This is a young man that the trial began, I believe, on the 5th Monday of this month. This is in Boston, and he's called the Boston Bomber, and he is from a former Soviet Union or Russian, I believe. I know he is. Well, let's just say he's part of the Russian or Soviet Union. And anyway, everybody's heard about that. So let me get to this. And I want to pan this real quick before I get to what I was going to read. This is Jens Zoring's a German diplomat's son, at least at the time. This is Elizabeth Haysom. They at the University of Virginia were students. I met our paths crossed briefly in '83 before I was flown out to Flint's in that campaign. Jens Zoring's was at Lovell Private School, and I was sent there on a temp job. And then later, I show up in Grotto's driving a car furnished by Larry Flint, Hustler. And that's when Jens Zoring's, their students at the University of Virginia, Charlottesville, which is close to Grotto's and also close to Roanoke, where I am now. I had no idea I'd end up here in Roanoke, especially living on the Appalachian Trail and freezing and starving and begging for food. But anyway, they're in prison. They're mind control victims. and for butchering the butcher knife murder of her parents, Elizabeth and Derek Haysom, Bedford. It was tried in Bedford Court, next door here. It was in Bedford County Court. Now I wanted to go ahead and show this. This is my father, Edward VIII, who was a decent man, and that's why he was taken out. Now this is how just a part of history has been changed. My father was married to Georgia O'Keeffe's sister, Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe, Windsor, born in Madison, Wisconsin. This is the O'Keeffe genealogy. My mom was the baby. Now then, this is the double that married Wallace Simpson. So all of it was a lie. This is my uncle who helped in my kidnapping takedown of my father. He, with Joe Kennedy, who was ambassador appointed by Roosevelt, and the Jews, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, helped in my kidnapping, forced takedown with nothing but lies of my wonderful father. And look at what they did to my mom. This is my sons, Mark and Scott, heirs after me. And this is one of the mind control murders in Tucson, Arizona. Gabby Gifford, congresswoman, was married to Mark Kelly, still is, twin to Scott Kelly. You get their astronauts and NASA and all that. This is Elizabeth, her brood. She's part of the New World Order, helped kidnap me, the real monarch, sign illegal treaties. She's a traitor to her own country, and so was this man. Now, I can't get into all of it, so I want to go back to, I showed you, this is just photos of the family where they put me that's glossed over. They took me there in 41, and this woman killed her twins, and they gave me the name of a dead twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married a Childers. Now then, this is me. And I just got these growing up. Now, I don't know if I'll get this in or not, because nobody has paid for any of the crimes and the torture they've done to me and my sons here in this country, and they're atrocious. And I'm a monarch. I'm Victoria II, legal heir to the British Crown, and I am. So, you know, I guess the media doesn't find that interesting that a monarch has been kidnapped and tortured ongoing. I'm 76 years old. As of when the shootings took place, it's the satire magazine outside Paris and the onslaught from that. Now then, what's that got to do with anything? I've tried to put stuff on about mind control murders being done in patterns. And remember, the FBI sent me a letter, and I was down there. So I'll leave it to you. Everybody has something to hide. So you think, you know, I've put it all up on video. I wanted to get to this if I could. After I had the antifreeze put in me, April Fool Day of 80, and that's what this has been. After doing the book and the letter from the FBI, I was illegally taken across the state line back to Huntsville, Alabama. I worked for the district attorney, Fred Simpson, and lived at Warren House, as in the Warren Commission and JFK. They couldn't tell about him, and it was mind control programming done in that. And they wouldn't tell about it and the Martin Luther King, because it would lead back to me and the United States and the Freemasons, the people that kidnapped me, trying to overthrow my country, and that included taking over the colonies in Africa, which, well, let me read this. This is one I wanted to get into here. Amy Bishop, remember, not one person has paid for any of the crimes done against me, my children, my father and mother in my country, and the German. They're the ones that helped keep me alive. There's so many lies that have been told, and so anyway. Let me say this, John Sparkman, Senator from Alabama, U.S. Senator, Shelby, all these people over the years have known about my kidnapping and what is done to me in my country. I'm a hostage, so is my country a hostage. I want to get to Amy Bishop, who professor at the University of Alabama, and that was in Huntsville where I had lived. Her last name is Anderson. Miller was